All right, welcome to the San Diego Growlers live stream. We have San Diego Growlers taking on the visiting San Francisco Flamethrowers. My name's Steve Proden. I'm here with Brian Moore, and we're getting ready for the big game. Kickoff is just about to start. We're without our executive producer here, so we're going to be towing the line as time comes, trying to figure out what to do. But we got one camera angle for you guys, and we're looking forward to bringing you guys a great game. So it looks like we have the Growlers. Looks like the Growlers are going to be receiving on offense. I see Ham out there. I see Dom Leggio. Here comes the pull, and we're off. Disc to Tran to Leggio. All the way across to Dunn. Dunn's been just dominant this year. So one of their main goal scorers, Sean Ham, looks like he's got a little fan club here. Back over to Dunn. To Leggio. That's Tim Okita, one of the new players this year on their team. We'll get some more information on him in a little bit. Back to Okita. Looks like we have a lefty looking down the line. Down with a nice little push-off, no one called. All the way across to Okita. Straight off to Dunn. Some pressure, but Dunn was easy with that one. Cross to Milardovich and a big layout D. It's like number 53 from San Francisco, Williams Devin.
Number 53, Devin Williams.
And that's Devin Williams. Sorry, we had last name, first name there. Going for the huck. Looks like it's fading to the left. I think Dom will eat this one up, and he does. Nice D from number 13, Dom Leggio.
And that was on Alex Grande, a buddy of San Diego Ultimate. Played many a fun tournament with Alex Grande.
Looks like Zeke Ivers has got the disc on the far side. Over to Milardovich. Looks like we have a runner. A nice put. Ooh.
Misjudged maybe by Travis.
Yeah, I mean, Travis is just about 100% in the end zone. I think he thought he was going to walk and catch that one. It went a little farther, and then he didn't have his legs about to jump. But it looked like that was kind of a big mistake to start, and we're going deep again.
A lot of hang time, plenty of Growlers catching up.
And that's Milardovich on the D, so kind of a sloppy game to start for both teams. We have two Ds two Ds on the Growlers, one D and one errant throw. Looks like here we go from Zeke Ivers to Sean Ham, and looks like that's going to be an easy one for Sean. All right, that's 1-0 from Ivers to Ham for the score. And we have a 9:37 left. I know right now we don't have a clock on the screen and we don't have a score, so we'll be updating you throughout the podcast, or throughout the stream, I should say.
So a little sloppy to get started. We'll see how the Growlers take to defense this first time.
Yeah, there's not much wind out there at all, so I was actually surprised. San Francisco, both throws look like errant throws. I'm not sure why they decided to make the decisions they did, but lucky for the Growlers to be able to not get broken on the first point of the game. And here comes the rip from Nathan Bridges.
Centering pass to Chartok, it looked like, and they let it fly. Heck of a throw, a little too far.
And that was intended for number 56, Brandon Canonizzato. That's what I'm going to say for now until you guys correct us on Twitter.
Speaking of which, send us all your tweets and your feedback. We'll try and keep an active look on Facebook and Twitter as the game progresses.
Disc over to Nathan Bridges. A low inside break, but they got it to Will Griffin. It looks like he's going for a deep shot, and he goes up to Max Hume, but it's floating. It's going to be a 50-50 disc. Max Hume with a great grab.
Max Hume outleads everyone, brings it down.
Cole with the disc, looking for the around. hitting Sam Fontaine. Or Travis, Sam Fontaine. Another exciting one. Unfortunately, an errant throw, and Kevin Stewart looks like they're going to set up some type of junk here on the turnover.
Turnover for San Francisco.
Looks like they have him clamped down on the line back in the back end zone. Nice backhand inside out all the way across the field. Shooting for number 22. San Francisco Flamethrower lets it go. They're definitely an open game here. It looks like that one went over, no foul call. Looks like it's going to be Growlers disc. Man, this reminds me of the second half of the Uruguay World Cup game. It's very, very open. There's a lot, basically a huck every other play. There's a huck downfield. None of them very good, but there are hucks downfield. Disc over to Nate Bridges. Looks like Fontaine with the disc. Back to Fontaine. To be honest, I don't like how Fontaine's wearing his hat, but I'll just let that one slide. This is going up, and the Hume's wide open again. Max Hume from San Diego State. He is fast. This with Cole. Looking for an easy one. Got to Griffin. Looking back to Cole. Looking for an around. Looks like they're forcing middle from the Flamethrowers. You can hear them from the other sideline. A nice inside-out break. A fake from Hume. See if anyone can break the mark here. There it is. An easy one to Fontaine. Silly happy damn. That's Fontaine with the catch.
For Sam Fontaine, Growlers within 2 minutes. Very meticulous goal. Make sure it gets in the end zone. 2-0 Growlers.
So Brian, let's set us up with a little playoff picture. I know you're doing some research before the game.
Well, you've got my notes under your arms there, Steve. So I was talking to the Growlers co-owner before the game, Justin Goodman, and he let us know kind of the picture for those of you who haven't been following along. So Los Angeles has already clinched with a record of 10-2, so they'll take the first seed. But the rest of the league is kind of pretty thick around the middle of the pack. So San Diego here is 5-7. San Francisco 5-6 will face LA tomorrow, and San Jose also 5-7. So this might come down to tiebreakers, but as it stands right now, everybody's kind of in the driver's seat if they can just win out. I think San Diego owns the tiebreak over San Francisco anyway.
And the pool's up, and LA's already clinched a playoff berth with a 10-2 record. So everyone's kind of fighting for second right now.
Right. Only 2 bids in the West.
This is in the middle. Looking dump. Nice hammer all the way across. Number 0, Lior Gaval. Lior's looking down the line. It was a futuristic throw that unfortunately doesn't manage to garnish much, and that's another Milardovich D, but a throwaway right away from Slater. Another pickup after Lior threw that away. He got it right back with a nice D. Looks like they're San Francisco shooting, and another D from Steven Milardovich. That's 3 Ds for Milardovich in the first few points of the game. Slater going deep. Looks like he's got 22. That's Wes Groff. An easy one. And San Diego is rolling. Another break for San Diego. That was the Slater from Groff to Slater. Oh, excuse me. That was to Ryan Lacey. Sorry, Ryan Lacey was the one that caught that. And I believe he was also the one that may have turned it over, too. I'm sorry for Mark Slater and his family that's listening. So an early 3-0 lead for the Growlers, and Kevin's never happy, but I think I saw him smirk a little bit. So it looks like he's as happy as could be with 3-0 up 2 breaks early, and the fans keep pouring in to beautiful Mission Bay. There really isn't a finer place in San Diego, and hopefully the fans are finding it out very quickly. We got blue skies, about 75 degrees with no wind. Looks like this is with number 24, Eli Kearns. We just got updated on the San Francisco roster. Hoping we can bring you guys a couple more names. We can see it from the booth. Over to 0, that should be Leor. Seems like he's, we've said his name a lot. It's a cool name as well. Over to 22, which is Marcelo Sanchez. Down the line, back to Eli Kearns. Eli Kearns is going to want it every other. He did his playing days at Davis, led them to nationals for UC Davis, and throws the one down the line to Andrew Berry for the score. And now Growlers are still up 3-1 with about 5:20 left. San Francisco Flamethrowers are on the board.
Growlers would like to thank their partner for performance and conditioning. Growlers' best kettlebell gym in town, featuring strength, conditioning, boot camps, high-intensity workouts, and competition training. Growlers is a proud partner for trainer.
So 5:21 left. If you're just tuning in, Growlers won up 3. They scored on their O point after a couple turnovers, but then since then have had 2 breaks with some nice deep shots to Max Hume. And now the Flamethrowers just scored, so it's 3-1. It looks like Michael Tran is receiving. This over to in the middle to Dom Leggio. A nice break around. Looks like to Zeke Ivers, number 3. A low throw, but a nice catch from Matthew Parisi. He's going for it. Going for it. Looks like it's going to be a jump ball. That was Parisi looking for Tim Okita. Unfortunately, there was a poach from the defense for the Growlers, and the Flamethrowers are able to D it, and now they got the disc looking for a break to bring it back to 3-2. And the disc is going. Had someone up line. Here's the fake around, and a nice D from Dom Leggio. Just about a Callahan. He runs it back, taps it in, is looking for an easy, quick score, and hits Sean Ham. What are you seeing so far, Brian?
Well, the Growlers have made some errant throws, but so has San Francisco, and yeah, the Growlers are up 4-1, so pretty comfortable at home, making their playoff hopes seem a reality right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Growlers are playing, and you can hear it from the fans in the background. The Growlers are playing for their playoff lives right now. They got to kind of win out every game, and they've been in a slump. So this needs to be a big win. If they go up early and put some pressure on a young San Francisco Flamethrowers team, life will be good. Feel free to tweet at us at sdgrowlers.com. I think we've hijacked the Twitter page just for a little bit. So if you guys tweet at us with some suggestions, that'd be great. Eli Kearns with the disc in the middle going all the way across. Eli Kearns looks like he's going downfield. Over to number 10, Elliot Chartuck. To Kearns. Back to 13 to Sam Swink. Nice throw to Leor, and he's gone. There's the throw. I think Slater's going to get beat by Jacob Greenberg, and that's going to be a quick score for the Flamethrowers. That's from Leor Givol.
On to 31, Jacob Greenberg. And Growlers are up 4-2. Don't forget to download the AUPL app for your smartphone. It's free and it'll keep you up to date on the latest scores and standings. That's if you remember regular work as we write down and figure out who are going to get those finals.
So you're just tuning in. We got 3:56 left. We have a 4-2 game. We have the San Diego Growlers receiving the pool right here. The offense, although has had a couple turnovers, they haven't got broken yet, and the defense has 2 breaks, and you have the Growlers up 4-2. This is at the middle to Dom Leggio. He's a staple back there as the central handler. To Zeke Ivers, to Dunn. Sean Ham looking like he wanted to go deep, but he was giving him so much room. He goes under. Now Sean has a disc. He's got a little fan club down there, maybe with a picture of him. I think it's Milardovich with the kind of the falling down catch. Over to Akita in the corner. The swing around to Dom Leggio all the way to Milardovich. The offense is flowing very well. I think Kevin Stewart thought he was going to throw it one more time. So Got Dom Leggio, a little left-handed float, and an easy one. And there's Sean Ham again.
Yeah, he seems to always be open in the end zone. I don't know what it is.
And he has great teeth. He's a dentist. I don't know if you knew that.
Didn't know that. Steve.
Sean Ham is a dentist for the Navy, I think. He's on a boat, and he's a dentist, and it's awesome that he is that fast. And I don't know how much training he does on the boat. Can't imagine.
Plenty of room to do some sprints maybe if it's a carrier, but
Sure.
who knows?
Sure.
So that makes the score.
We'll ask Sean at halftime if he's on a carrier boat.
That's the tough questions. That makes the score 5-2 with just about three and a quarter minutes left in the first quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, Growlers are up 5-2 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, their offense has flown pretty well, even though they've had a couple turnovers. They seem like they're moving the disc pretty well. Unfortunately, an errant pull from Bridges that went out about half field, so San Francisco won't have much to work with, and Eli Kearns is going to have the disc, and he's probably the most dangerous thrower out there for the Flamethrowers, although I have to admit I haven't been watching all season, just based off reputation. Kearns is always the one that wants a disc. Swing all the way across to Lior, who's been involved heavily in the offense as well. Across the 10, that's Elliot Chartuk. This is with...
We'll just call him Brandon.
We'll just call him Brandon until we figure out how to say his last name. Sorry, Brandon. Back to Eli Kearns in the middle. A nice scoober from Kearns to Elliot. Back to Kearns. Looks like Chartuk and Kearns, and huge scoober from Kearns to a falling down Sam Swink, and that was a very, very good throw. So we got 5-3 now with 2:43. It's a lot of fun happening here down here. A lot of Growler jerseys out here. Yeah, it's great atmosphere.
Dude is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing opportunities.
And as the sun goes down, the wind might pick up a little bit to make things interesting. Typically when you're at sea level down by the water, you get a little breeze as the sun's going down.
Yeah, I see it. If I look across, I see the flag blowing a little bit, so I think from up here in the booth, it doesn't feel like there's much wind, but I do see the jerseys moving a little, and I've seen some short pools, and I think that's probably partly because of the wind.
Yeah, I think if you're pulling from the side the Flamethrowers are on right now, you're actually pulling into the wind, so that's where Nate Bridges' pull fell short last time.
Yeah. Nice pull from the Flamethrowers and some good hang time, although a little short. This goes over to Michael Tran. A nice little blade over to Milardovich. We got Dunn going. He take two. Have an easy one under.
That was Wes Groth in the middle there, number 22.
All right, this over to Dunn and back to Groth. Now, Wes Groth was a pickup from Indianapolis, right, Brian?
Yeah, Jacob, Justin Goodman, one of the owners of the Growlers, was telling me he's been a huge utility pickup, can kind of work both sides of the disc, just super reliable. And yeah, he came from I think the Alley Cats.
Yeah, Indianapolis Alley Cats. So that was a nice little give-go between, it was Groth to Dunn to Groth for the score. And again, Growlers show how smooth it can be when they want it to be on offense. They just really didn't have to push themselves on that one. Had it wide open all the way down the field. San Francisco will have to maybe make some type of adjustment going into the second quarter, trying to figure out what they can do to kind of stifle some of the Growlers' momentum, because the last 3 or 4 points for offense has been very, very smooth for the Growlers.
Yeah, we've seen both teams kind of work out the kinks as you see the rolling pull.
That's from Mark Slater right to the line. They might try a double team, but they couldn't get down there quite quick enough. Kearns all the way across to Sam Swink, number 13 to 23. Antoine Davis, I know he's a big receiver downfield. Looks like he's back a little bit right now with Max guarding him. That's Marcelo Sanchez. There we go to Sam Swink, all the way across to Antoine Davis. Almost leaving his feet, but Eli Kearns is able to get it. Sam Swink with a nice grab and all the way across. That looked like 10. That was Elliot Chartuk. So Sam Swink to Elliot Chartuk for the score. Flamethrowers are making it look pretty smooth too. I think both teams kind of settled in a little bit, and their offense, both teams' offense, are looking pretty smooth. I did see Will Griffin getting some tape, some work, so hopefully he's okay. We'll give you an update when we can.
Number 13, Sam Sweet got the assist. We're pretty sure it was number 10, Elliot Chartock. 6-4, your Growlers on the top of the flames. Growlers are proudly sponsored by Magneto Skateboards. Those cool little electric skateboards around. You can find out more information at magnetoboards.com.
So we'll see if the San Diego Growlers can continue that smooth O. Here comes the pull. Looked like that was from Cody, former Growler. A fake. Tran Ghost. Looks like Dom was open. There he is. Milardovich is wanted to go deep, and here it comes. Dom will always bomb at flick, and Milardovich almost always catches it.
Milardovich didn't really have position there, but somehow he gets up early and reaches around the defender.
That was over Devin Williams, who made a valiant effort, but Devin was giving up maybe 3 or 4 inches to Steven Milardovich, and I think Dom was 100% going to throw that, and he was just waiting. It looked like Milardovich triple cut and finally went deep, and then Dom had the matchup he wanted, but Milardovich maybe has 4 or 5 inches on Devin Williams. Devin Williams got position. Milardovich with a huge grab.
You hear the crowd come alive here in the first quarter as the Growlers go up 7-4. So comfortably in position to kind of get up and stay up and manage the flow of the game. But this is a very talented San Francisco team. So if you pull up 1 or 2 throws, they're gonna, like Steve said, both teams have kind of settled in. And I think any mistakes now teams are looking to capitalize.
Here comes the pull from Mark Slater. Looks like that's going to just land out of bounds. So it looks like they're going to get it. That's the second out of bounds pull from the Growlers. You'd like to see them clean it up a little on D. Again, from up here, it doesn't feel like the wind's going that hard, but it's hard down on the field versus up here in the protected booth. So this with Eli Kearns. Looks like Max is on him. I'm surprised they have Antoine Davis back. I thought he'd be a bigger deep threat, but, maybe I can ask the coach at halftime why that is. There's Elliot Chartuck with the disc. Looking for Kearns. Ooh, dangerous throw, but Kearns makes a great grab with Max Hume close by. Another scuba from Kearns. I think you're going to see that. That's with Marcelo Sanchez, number 22. Antoine Davis on the far sideline. Throws it to Lior. Lior looking for a nice flick down the line to 56. It's Brandon all the way across to Antoine. To Marcelo, looking for Antoine. Looked like it could have been a foul. Yep, it was.
Will Griffin, just a physical defender, as the clock's about to tick under 30 seconds here in the first quarter. They're going to have maybe one more look to patiently score and pull within 2.
Yeah, it looked like Antoine had beaten, and he just beat again. And a spike. Antoine Davis beats, it's like number 20.
That's 94. Scott Radlauer.
Scott Radlauer beat Scott Radlauer, excuse me. So that was Antoine Davis for Scott Radlauer. He's doing good defense, but hard when you get close to the middle of the field on the goal line. Antoine Davis, I think, want to try to fire up his crowd a little bit with a big spike. There's 27.5 seconds left in the first quarter. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the cast. We have the stream, excuse me. We have the Growlers winning by up 7-5. So this is kind of a crucial point to go up 8-5 as we transition to the second quarter.
Yeah, and typically a little bit of a high-scoring first quarter. I think typically the Growlers are more in the low 20s by the end of the game, so it's good to see their offense kind of firing on all cylinders and continue to excel. Yeah,
I mean, before we blinked, that first 3 points, you had the Growlers up 3-0 on quick turns. There's a throw to Dom, cross from Okita. Dom wants to throw a flick. Breaks it, nice and done. You got Zeke Ivers going deep, but you have a double team. You have Sean Hamm wide open in the middle. The cheering section cheers for Sean, maybe his parents. Dom Leggio with the disc. You got 8 seconds. Sean. Oh, just a miscue. And it looks like Flamethrowers just going to let it go. So that ends the first quarter. The Growlers are up 7-5. We're just going to mute it for a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, looks like we're back with a short quarter break. Looks like the disc is back with Eli Kearns.
That scooper is so reliable for him.
Yeah, Antoine Davis looking downfield again. They have Antoine coming back and handling. Let's see more as a downfield deep, a late bid, but almost a great defense by the Growlers. Over to Antoine in the middle. Ooh, looked like flick that just got away from him a little bit. Eli Kearns tries to make a pretty difficult catch and can't make it. And the Flamethrowers start off the quarter like they did the first quarter. Let's see if the Growlers get a break to start again. Looks like a lot of crowded, but looks like Fontaine got it. Looks like back to Fontaine, got him open. Doesn't throw it to look like there we go. Oh, unfortunate drop by number 26, Jake Guskowski.
Yeah, Will Turner put a little bit of zip on that throw, probably to deal with the wind, but I don't think Jake was expecting
Here's a deep shot, and I think Marcelo's got this one pretty handily. And we got the score. So Growlers got the turn, just had a silly drop, and now the Flamethrowers are only down 1 to start the second quarter. 7-6, 10:48 left. Have you been watching any of the World Cup, Brian?
Yeah, I caught both of the games this morning that were outstanding.
What'd you think?
Love France. France looked dominant the whole game this morning.
What about that 19-year-old?
Mbappe, yeah.
Yeah,
Mbappe, solid performance, just so fast. I think it's a new era for some of those clubs that have had a storied history the last few World Cups.
With France having that young of a team, second youngest in the World Cup, what a win. Anyways, we'll get back to the other sport that we love, Ultimate Frisbee. This is with Okita, number 44. Looks like Dom Little Biscuit. It looks like he had done, but there was a poach. Milardovich looking for it from Ham. Milardovich gets it. Dunn just working it up the live side. Zeke with a great cut. Little dipsy doodle. All the way across. Dom Leggio looking for something, decides to swing it all the way across to Dunn. The backhand. Michael got almost all the way there. Looks like he had Okita. Oh, great fake. Great fake from Tim Okita. just did a double cut there. Michael Tran with a nice break down the line. Tim Okita with a sure-handed catch, and Growlers go up 8-6. That was a smooth play, even though at the ending it maybe I think he just dove to make sure he had it.
Sure.
But awesome play from the Growlers.
Yeah, good patience on the goal line to not force anything on that far side, and then to settle for the dump swing to switch the field a little bit.
I think you can always hear Dan Bellinger wherever he is. So we hear him from up here. Doesn't matter where he is in the stadium. You can always hear Danny B. It's like Bridges is going to take another shot at this pool. The Growlers have been having not so great pools going upwind a little bit. This one looks like a little smoother. A little float, but still dropping short of the 30. Disc to Kearns, all the way across to Antoine Davis. Looking for Marcelo. Going deep. Now they found Marcelo. Back to Antoine Davis. Looking for Kearns. Over to Sam Swink to Kearns. Sam going up line. A nice floating backhand, and boy, was that a good throw.
Yeah, pinpoint accuracy from Kearns up the line. And Swink never hesitated to give go on the upline strike, even with such little space to work with.
Yeah, Kearns, that was a great bend and outside in backhand right down the line. Fontaine just couldn't do anything about it.
So that makes the score 8-7. Growlers still leading, but Flamethrowers coming back a few minutes with a few possessions here. Bless you, Steve. So now we've got the offense taking the field for the Growlers. Looks like Parisi, Tran, Okita, Ivers, Sean Ham.
Parisi's out there.
Travis Dunn, and Steve Milardovich.
Yeah, so this has been the pretty staple O-line for the Growlers. Looks like the diss is to Okita. Looks like they're going to go stack instead of they're going vert, which is a traditional offense that you start with. And it looks like they're going to go vert to start. And they got Milardovich, a nice double fake. And it looks like he doesn't know there's a poach coming from behind. And luckily Matthew Parisi sneaks it in there. Nice throw from Milardovich, but there was that back defender on his back. Luckily Parisi was able to sneak that one in.
Yeah, not too floaty from Milardovich, but if he doesn't pursue that disc and gets too comfortable seeing his defender over his shoulder, there's the guy running from the other side trying to get the poach D.
Yeah, that was actually a good switch up, I think. A good adjustment from the Growlers, not getting too stationary in their offense. That was the first time we've seen vert tonight where they had 2 back and 5 downfield in a more vertical stack as opposed to running horizontal or a spread. So, yeah, I kind of like seeing that.
Yeah, with the width of the field in the ADL, it's a little different than the club game, right? You've got a lot more space across the width of the field than you do typically. So a lot more options to spread the field or go stack and even have kind of 2 channels to move the disc all the way upfield, going vert stack down the middle.
Here's the pull. Looks like Antoine Davis will be receiving his center into Eli Kearns. Eli with the disc all the way to Sam Swink. They got Leor on the far right. Looks like they're looking for Kearns. Nice catch from Marcelo, number 22. All the way across. Looks like that's Chatwick. Over to Antoine Davis. Chartuck, excuse me. Back to Chartuck, number 10. Looks like he's going to Marcelo. Looks like Kearns wants it deep. He hasn't been able to sync up with his throwers yet. Sam Swink looks like it's on the far sideline. Kearns is asking for the disc. And it looks like just a real low backhand that just didn't get off the ground. So it looks like Growlers are going to have an option here. Looks like a timeout from Kevin Stewart. So it looks like they'll have the disc on the sideline. And that's a Growlers timeout.
I think Kevin Stewart's just looking to give his guys a little bit of a breath here. They were up big to start. They've fallen off a little bit. San Francisco's pulled within 1. Now San Diego's back up 9-7. So they want to just make sure they put the disc in and score right here to go up 3.
Yeah, and I think also with the option to get a break, it's not an 0 point. It's option for a break, and this is a big one to go back up. They lost a break early on, so hopefully they can go back up here and be back up 3. So if this is your first time joining us, this is the game of Ultimate Frisbee. It's run by the AUDL, the Association Ultimate League Disc. It's a professional league. There's teams all over the United States. We're in the Western Division, so there's a team from Seattle, team from San Francisco, San Jose, LA, San Diego, and Vancouver. All right, those are our teams that we have in the AUDL West. Thank you, Brian Moore, for your concurring. But it's run kind of 7-on-7. The difference with the AUDL versus maybe Ultimate Frisbee is you do have active referees that are making calls as opposed to observers who are looking to be inactive in terms of the calls only come when there's a dispute that can't be solved in the field. So it looks like the disc is across there. Looks like Michael Tran got subbed in maybe. Looks like they did put their O-line in. You can do a wholesale substitution here. So I think that was another reason why Kevin made the adjustment. It looks like they're running a horizontal. Looking to go to the middle. Looks like Okita is wide open, deep. But Ham is now wide open. All the way across to Milardovich, looking for Dunn. Dunn with a quick cut. Kind of dinking and doinking their way down the field. Milardovich with the disc. Another pass back to Dom. They're just looking for something downfield. They got done.
Akita's really working downfield to get his deep cuts extended and come under with a lot of space.
Yeah, and he's open. I think we're kind of stuck on that far left side of the field, and that's fine because we got some nice cuts going down. Ivers going all the way to Dunn. Nope, holds up. Looking for a. I'm gonna say that was an awful scooper from Zeke Ivers, but that's Travis Dunn with a big catch. And Zeke, if you watch this again from the stream, just know that should have never been thrown.
I think Dunn was surprised it even came down to him, but he secured it, thankfully, with defenders kind of not aware the throw went up.
I think if I was a defender, I would want him to throw that. He couldn't have been more at 5. Again, Zeke, please don't throw that again. But great catch from Dunn, and it looks like the Growlers are up 10-7.
So just about 8 minutes left to go in the rest of the first half here. The Growlers are back up 3, just how we started. What have you seen since that kind of awkward start on both sides, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, both offenses kind of smoothed out. Looks like starting in the second quarter, Flamethrowers blinked a little, and they're struggling again to start, and they kind of smoothed out at the end of the first, and I thought they were back in the zone, but it looks like they were struggling again. Now, Eli Kearns with a disc, throwing it to Marcelo. Looks like Sam Swink is going for it. A fake to Leor with a late bid, but almost from Slater.
Slater got a good piece of that disc.
This is with Chartuck from Kearns over to number 22. That's should be Marcelo Sanchez. Back to Kearns. Oh, looks like they had Chartuck deep. Oh, is going for it. Antoine Davis got double cut by his own teammate, and now Growlers have another chance. Again, the Flamethrowers just can't seem to get on track early in the quarters. This is the second quarter in a row where they've struggled at beginning. So we'll see if the Growlers can take advantage of it. This is over to Slater. All the way across to this number 8, Josh Cole. I think Josh has a disc, looking for a round. Ooh.
No bid by the defender there, but enough to make, is that Fontaine?
No, I think that was number 21.
Michael Tran?
Yeah, it looked like Michael Tran just couldn't get that. And that was a quick Chartuck to Marcelo for the quick score, and Growlers are up 10-8. They're in good position, but you would have liked to see something better than that. Looked like are getting close to a stall out with Cole with the disc on the far sideline, and the field came a little late, and it was a rush throw with a defender close by.
Correction, I think that was Kyle Rubin on the intended receiver, not Michael Tran.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it looked like it was Kyle Rubin. Sorry about that.
Now Tran with the disc, centering the Dom.
There you go. Dom Leggio with the disc. Looks like not a very smooth offense right now. They're bundled up. Looks like San Francisco's kind of in a little bit of a might be kind of a box. It's kind of a pseudo zone, kind of a junk defense that you can run, just like a zone in basketball where you're not guarding a particular person, you're guarding an area. But a very errant throw across from Zeke Ivers, and San Francisco did exactly what they want, kind of mess up the flow of the Growlers' offense that has been very smooth thus far.
Yeah, and that actually gives the defense a little bit of a chance to rest while they stay in zone and then come out gunning, and the offense sometimes it's called. Oh.
Looked like an errant throw.
Turnover deserves another. Let's see if the Growlers can capture.
Errant throw from maybe number 55, 56 on Flamethrowers. All the way across now.
I think that's Jake Gudkowski, 26.
Yeah, Jake Gudkowski. Leggio to Milardovich. A nice left-handed high release to Ivers with a bobble catch. Zeke just trying to make it interesting for all the fans. Back to Dom. Milardovich, back to Leggio. I'm surprised that they aren't tightening up a little bit on Leggio. He's walking out there to get the disc. And double team, it looks like someone should be open all the way across. I don't think he's going to get in. This is with Wes Groth down the line. An easy forehand.
Zeke Ivers standing wide open between two defenders.
Yeah, that was a great swing. If I were the Flamethrowers, I'd tighten up a little on Dom Leggio. He's had a field day out there, just working the offense and being able to always get the disc whenever he wanted to without exerting too much of an effort. So now it's 11-8 with about 5 minutes left. So it looks like Purdy's not playing tonight. I wonder why not. He's a big-time receiver downfield. I see him in a jacket and shoes. He might be injured or he might be coming off a break or something, so I'm not sure. We'll find out at halftime. I'll ask a couple questions. There's the pull, looks like from Bridges. Much better pull, much easier when you're going downwind, though. This with the Kearns. To 13, Sam Swink. You got Fontaine. And a nice poach from Ruben. This is a big one for the Growlers, and they get it. Nate Bridges. That was Fontaine to Bridges. Easy score for the Growlers, and they go up 12-8, their biggest lead of the day. That was a great read by Kyle Rubin, who poached off his man to sneak in and grab that disc. That was a catch D, which you don't see very much, and then it was an easy score. So that was great to see.
The Growlers extend their lead to 4 with 4:53 remaining.
So with 4:53 left, we have a 12-8 game Growlers over the visiting San Francisco Flamethrowers from beautiful Mission Bay High School Stadium. Palm trees for days out here.
Pulls up for Mark Slater. Centering pass to Kearns.
It's like Davis lost the hat, but it was still the same number. Kearns over to, there's the disc going down, and I think Sanchez is going to track that one down. And he got it.
Wow, what a throw, what a catch.
Great throw for number 10, Elliot Chartug, to 22, Sanchez. That's the second or third time Sanchez has gone deep. Big-time receiver and handler, really a great all-around player. I think he did his playing days at Cal Berkeley. Not positive, though. I'm actually just totally guessing, but I feel like he was on Cal Berkeley at one point in his life. Maybe we'll figure that out, too. Lots to figure out.
If you guys have any feedback, good, name pronunciations, correct college alumna, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
We'll take it all via Twitter and Facebook.
A little roller from Cody Kirkland, rolls out, might try to set up a double team. Looks like Flamethrowers are racing down to set up a double team. We're just racing down to stop the disc all the way across the Legium.
Oh, he's got a man streaking deep.
Milardovich is going deep. Parisi already had one deep that went a little errant, and nice throw. That's Tim Okita for the. That was a very quick catch spike, but apparently it was a catch spike. Tim Okita from Milardovich. Great catch.
And that puts the Growlers up 4 now, 13-9. So really pulling away at the end of this first half here.
Yeah, the San Francisco hasn't been able to get on track really. Besides that last throw from Elliot Chartuk to Marcelo, they really haven't had a very smooth first half, I really should say. But both at the beginning of each quarter, they've struggled. We'll see what happens. This is where the Growlers kind of let the door open a little bit and let Flamethrowers come back a little at the end of the first quarter. We'll see if they can kind of keep this 4-point or even extend it to a 5 or 6 point lead moving forward. Here's a nice pull. We finally got a good one from the Growlers from Mark Slater. This is with Antoine Davis over to Kearns in the middle. Lior is looking for the disc. To Antoine Davis, to Kearns. Probably going to be over to Marcelo right here. Looks like they're running some type of junk. Again, the junk is kind of a zone defense guarding an area. And a blade from Kearns that doesn't look like it got tipped, but there was a phantom D there, enough action. And surprisingly, there was a foul call late.
Will Turner will advance the disc with that foul call on the quick transition.
So Will has a disc guarded by Sam Swink. A backhand around.
We're waiting for the clock to get rolling here, and we'll resume play in just a minute.
Looks like disc is with Max Hume over to Will Turner. A backhand all the way over.
Oh, wow.
Laying out.
Matt Rubin with the layout.
Yeah, that was Matt Rubin with the layout. Turner again with the disc. Likes to throw his backhand. Looks like an offensive foul. Oh, looks like a timeout from Kevin Stewart before maybe the offensive foul. Yeah, I think I saw that offensive foul too, and I think Flamethrowers has a point of contention there because it was definitely a push-off by Will Turner, but didn't call it, and as the referee talks with the San Francisco Flamethrowers coach, San Diego calls a timeout.
So just under 4 minutes to go, the Growlers up 4, but no timeouts left. So I think they're just giving themselves a chance to rest and, again, walk the disc down, give themselves a little bit of confidence, a little bit of a breather to stay up and secure their lead going into halftime.
Yeah, and we had another wholesale, the whole O team that's been pretty smooth all day. I think they've been broken just once, is in. And let's see what they can do with a short field.
Hey guys, pull back down the big boy, pull.
So it looks like the referees are talking just a little bit maybe as the Flamethrowers coach kind of sits in the middle of something.
Yeah, he's going to look for clarification on the end of that play before the timeout, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As you can see, Jimmy Benavente giving him an explanation.
Yep. I don't think he's happy, and I again don't blame him. It looked like Will Turner did do a push-off right before the timeout was called. But nonetheless, it's a Growlers disc. It's going to be Michael Tran with the disc coming in. Dom Leggio has his dump. Looks like we have a vertical stack set up. We'll see what happens. I would get, as you get closer, you usually cut from the front as opposed to the back. We'll see what happens here. This is over to Dom Leggio. Looks like Okita's got the disc. Nice grab up in the air. Looking for maybe a break. A nice around break. Michael Tran with the disc. Going back up line. Nice throw to Dunn for another break. Another backhand break to Ivers. Doesn't quite toe it in. The disc is right on the goal line. Zeke Ivers across to Dunn. And another break. And that's Michael Tran. And a break from Dunn.
Yeah, good patience by the goal line offense there to kind of give go across the front of the end zone without without forcing anything across the end zone line.
Yeah, from the Flamethrower standpoint, I mean, they got broken maybe 3 or 4 times, and those breaks are just killer on the end zone because it already tightens everything up when you get close to the end zone. So to give up those around breaks, those backhand breaks, it was too easy for Dunn out there. From the Flamethrowers perspective, you're going to see a little tighter D on the marks and making it a little harder on them. But the Growlers go up 5, their biggest lead of the day, as we have 3:25 left in the second quarter. We thank you guys for tuning in. We're about a little over 3 minutes left until halftime. 14-9 Growlers.
Again, pretty high scoring on the Growlers side, you know. It'll be interesting to see how they can match this level of intensity on offense in the second half.
Another great pull from Slater, put Sam Swink all the way in the back, halfway back of his own end zone. This is Elliott Chartuck to Antoine, going deep to Lior. They cut it short to Marcelo. Marcelo lets it go. Will's going to have a hard time getting this one. Lior with a great grab, a great bid from Will Griffin. Oh, and another big bid from Nate Bridges. Elliott Chartuck tries to throw to Antoine Davis, and all the action from the Growlers lead to another Phantom D. That's the second one that Flamethrowers had dropped after a diving or a pursuing Growler. Shows the energy for the Growlers defense. You have someone going deep. Looks like a double team there. Oh, looks like he had him deep again, but
Wes Groth was wide open. He decided to come under because he was too deep, maybe.
Yeah, Nate Bridges to Groth. I think that's the 94 Scott Radlauer. This is the Slater to Turner. Throwing a big flick. Going to Will Griffin. And that's Turner to Griffin, and it's all cheers on the Growlers side. Man, this is a big game for them. I mean, both teams are right in the playoff picture for second place, and this is a big win. 15-9. Growlers go up big with another break, like you said, Brian.
A little bit of an emotional roller coaster for the fans that last point with the 2 big bids, no turnover, and then an unforced drop. I think just showing that the hard work's paying off by the Team D.
Yeah. That's like I said, that was the second time kind of a Phantom D. Like, you lay out, you don't get it, but kind of the action causes the other team to drop. Before, it was a Kearns kind of blade in the zone that just was over the outstretched arms of us, the Growlers, and because of that, they dropped it, and right there, it was 2 layouts, and again, that wasn't even a drop on the layout, it was the drop afterwards.
Right. So the Growlers doubling their largest lead from the beginning of the game, up 6 now, 15-9, with just about 2:20 to go in the first half.
Yeah, Flamethrowers are really going to have to close it out here, maybe get a couple scores and hopefully a break. Just try to make this more manageable going into the second half because 6 points is not an easy one.
I think you're looking for the word deficit there, Steve.
What did I say?
Easy one, I think.
Yeah, okay, good. That was exactly what I wanted. So Elliott Chartuck to Marcelo, over to Cody, a little left-handed to Kearns.
Oh, another Uber.
Oh. And a great catch from Elliott Chartuck. Another Scoober from Kearns, and you're going to, again, see that throw just a lot. Just a little bit better than Zeke Ivor's Scoober. It's pretty close. Both resulted in scores. Eli's might have been just a little bit better.
I think Eli's 2 for 2 on Scoober scores, though. So Zeke, you're down 1 on that score. Yeah, you're due.
Well, make sure we mention that in halftime. Make sure Kevin Stewart knows too.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not happy with that. That's not a stat. I've never known Kevin Stewart to track Scooper scores on the stat sheet. But the Growlers now only up 5 with under 2 minutes to go. So what are they looking to do in these last 2 minutes here, Steve?
I think just be patient. I mean, I think when the Growlers play loose and look for a downfield shot, they play a lot better. I think when they start getting a little stagnant and start doing five-yard passes back and forth, where the defense kind of clinches down a little, they still have to play it open and keep that deep shot going. They've had a couple great deep shots this game.
Yep.
It looks like a little bit of a box, a little bit of a zone here.
Yeah, this worked for the Flamethrowers a couple of possessions ago where they forced a cross-field turn, just kind of covering space, cutting down those throwing lanes.
That's Okita with the disc. Looking back to Dom. This is exactly what the Flamethrowers want. Maybe an errant throw. Looks like Growlers being pretty patient. You have Ham kind of controlling the middle of the field. Across to Leggio. A nice throw there from Dom down the sideline. Looked like Michael Tran on the far sideline. Back to Leggio. I mean, they're just splitting it apart. They're going to have to get out of it soon. If I'm a little bit of a lackadaisical throw from Okita, but defender was so far away it was easy. And again, they're not making it hard on. Nice double team Okita with the. That's a score, right? Yeah, there we go. Can't see who got that score. It was Okita with a nice scooper and then another. Oh no.
That's Jake Kutkowski with his first score of the game. UCSD Squid alum.
I think it's from West Groth.
Yeah.
West Groth, sorry. 22. I thought that was Okita with that, but that was Okita with the hammer to West Groth. West Groth for the score to Gutkowski.
Gutkowski, yeah.
Gutkowski. Did you say that?
Gutkowski, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to ask the origin of that word. Figure out if that's the right pronunciation. What do you think that?
I know his Frisbee nickname, but I know we're trying to stay professional, and so it's a little trying for us to learn those last names.
We are as professional as can be up here in the booth.
Just under a minute to go now as the poll comes down to the Flamethrowers. Again, Growlers up 16-10. Pretty high scoring first half here.
Cody with the diss over to Eli. Back to Cody, and Cody can really launch it, and I think he might do it right here. He had Marcelo for a second, and there's another one. Marcelo with the diss.
San Francisco looking to move it upfield and score quickly. Maybe they can get a 2-for-1 if they can get the disc back.
Looks like now they're being more patient. Eli with the diss. All the way across to Lior. Looked like they had Sam, but held off on that. Lior back to Marcelo.
20 seconds to go.
Now with 20 seconds left, I think they're just looking to make sure they get this one. Antoine Davis across to Eli Kearns. And a nice floating throw to Lior. And that's an easy score. That was a good momentum swing for Flamethrowers if they can hold the Growlers off here to go down just 5 after being down 6. Maybe like Brian was saying, they maybe get a sneaky D, but with only 10 seconds left, I can see the Growlers just content with this and maybe wait for a last-second shot and see what happens.
Yeah, that's going to be the Growlers' game plan. The Flamethrowers still do have their 2 timeouts left unused for this half, but really, if you're up 5, the Growlers don't want to give them the chance to give a goal away this close to halftime. So it'll probably be look for a shot. If it's there, take it. Otherwise, no risk in turning the disc over in the back half of the field.
Looks like Kevin subbed out Michael Tran, one of the handlers for the O-line, for Mark Slater, maybe to give a little bit of a vertical option.
Advantage for the deep shot.
I can see them throwing to Dom Leggio and running downfield. And here it comes. I think they're just going to let it go.
Just about 5 seconds to go.
There's a throw. It's up in the air. We'll see if anyone comes down with it.
And it's overthrown. A little too strong there from Zeke Ivers.
I saw Zeke Ivers bench the bar the other day, and I can imagine that's why that thing went far. So we're at halftime. We have a 16-11, as you can see on the scoreboard. 16-11. Growlers are up against the visiting San Francisco Flamethrowers. A lot of playoff implications here with a big Growlers win, so we'll see what happens in the second half. Come back in about 10 or 15 minutes. Thanks for staying with us. All right, and we're back for the second half. 16-11. Flamethrowers are going to start the second half on D. Here's the pool from Cody Kirkland. San Diego native, did his playing days at UCSD. See if the Growlers can get off to a hot start like they did in the first quarter. That's Dom to Sean Ham. Over to Dunn. Smooth up to half field for Milardovich. Milardovich with the disc. Looking over to Dom. Looks like they switched up who's guarding Dom. Tried to give him a little more trouble. Tran going deep, didn't have it. A great scuba.
Wow. That's how it's supposed to look, Zeke.
And Zeke lets it go. He's got Tim Okita.
Goodness.
And a great shot for Tim.
Well, you might have heard me from the booth, but that was a heck of a backhand hook from Zeke Ivers to Okita. So the Growlers easily go up another goal. Now 17-11.
So I did have a chance to talk with the Flamethrowers coach at halftime. Josh, I think is his name. I know he did a lot of playing days at Jam. Then it was Justice League, and he's been around. He always has the iconic ponytail. I played against him a couple times, but talked with him. He said Growlers did a great job, kind of capitalizing on some of the mistakes. He said he was looking forward to the lights going down, the glare getting off some of their players' eyes, and opening up a little bit in the second half. They did have a couple notable players that didn't make it down. Greg Cohen, a San Diego native, always gets kind of pumped up.
Yep.
And then also Byron Liu, who has some worlds to take care of, world obligations to take care of. So two notable players that didn't make it down.
Yeah, this is still a very talented San Francisco side, so being down 6 goals with a lot of time left is not something to be overlooked by the Growlers.
Yeah, Marcelo has the disc on this close sideline, looking to Antoine Davis.
Little double team from the Growlers there temporarily.
Talking with Kevin Stewart, I asked him why Antoine wasn't playing more downfield, and he said he has no idea. But he's happy to see Antoine handling more than going downfield. Here's a shot. Looks like number 10. Great catch. That's from Elliot Chartuk. And an easy, whoa! Looked like an easy throw until the hustling Growler couldn't quite make up the distance. Couldn't see who the Growler was on the far making that run, but it was to Lior for the catch.
Flamethrowers have 12. 94 is Scott
So, what did you talk to Kevin over at halftime a little bit, Brian?
Yeah, he was pretty pleased with the first half showing, but again, they didn't really have to try too many different things, right? They kind of stuck to their game plan. Again, he reminded me that this is one of the higher scoring first halves of the season for the Growlers so far. I think Dave Ritchie told me that they just recently cracked 30 goals for a game this season for the first time as an organization. So this is pretty efficient offense for them, and they're going to try and do more of the same.
Yeah, it looks like coming out in a little bit of junk. Again, looking not to necessarily guard a particular person, but to be switching on and off, try to stumble. And Josh did say, about the Flamethrowers coach did say that Growlers did a great job taking them out of their offense. And I know one of the things I talked to Kevin about was kind of stifling Eli as much as they can, as good of a thrower he is. All the way across the field to a diving Dunn. He got Okita, still has Okita, decides to go back to Dom to play it safe.
Michael Tran with making use of the space there, but a difficult OI inside throw, and Dunn had to reach for it.
We didn't get the update on Brandon's last name, so we'll figure that out later. A perfect hammer from Dom to Okita, and the Growlers are rolling.
You can see the smile on Okita's face. It's his first season as a Growler, and he's fitting in quite well to their offense.
Yeah, he's been a staple all game for that high-scoring first half, and start off with a couple scores. As fans continue to come in, I think a lot of people are on ultimate time here, so they thought game at 6:30 means game at 7:30, but we've got a good fan base here for a big playoff implications for the Growlers and the Flamethrowers.
We did want to give a quick shout-out to Tina Goodman from Virginia, who's watching the live stream. Thanks for the shout out, Tina, on Facebook.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tina. And I believe if it's the same Tina Goodman that we stayed with in Sarasota, Florida, I believe you are Justin Goodman's mom. We thank you for housing us in our Nationals runs back in 2010, 2011. A great time was had at the Sarasota Goodman house. So it looks like this is going to be in the middle. See, it looks like they put a little double team on Eli Kearns to start with Will and looks like Ruben.
And the Growlers sort of mimicking that box defense that the Flamethrowers were just doing.
Kearns loves throwing blades and scoobers, so I think with no wind, I think they're just trying to take him out of it, maybe just give him a little change, give him a little switch, but there's a big hammer, and this is exactly what the Growlers want.
Milardovich eats that up, no problem. I think that's what they wanted.
Oh yeah, and we're ripping it. We're letting it go. And it was broken up by Chartuck, Elliot Chartuck, number 10, back with the disc. Looks like you have Kearns all the way across. Looks like Ruben's on Kearns. Again, they got that look they wanted. A big bid by the Growlers, but Chartuck came up with it all the way to Kearns, and I can see him unleashing one here. He goes to the middle to Marcelo Sanchez. All the way over to Lior. Lior with the disc, looking back at Kearns, decided to let one go, and Turner has no chance on that. That's number 31, Jacob Greenberg, with the score. So Flamethrowers dodge a bullet with that big hammer D by Milardovich. Growlers can't convert, and the Flamethrowers are back on the board with an offensive score, 18-13 with 9:16 left.
In the third quarter.
Great new job for our opportunity, better balls, awesome company culture, and Iron South.
So both teams trying some different things here as the Growlers tried a little bit of a zone junk defense.
They got what they wanted.
Right.
I mean,
they got the turn, just didn't convert.
I'm not sure why Eli thought it was more open. I know Milardovich was, I'm sure, baiting it a little bit, but I was very surprised that he let that one go. Here's a rolling pull from the San Francisco Flamethrowers. Growlers are able to stop it and get it back to the middle, kind of breaking up what the goal was to send it out of balance and see if they can trap it on the sideline. Okita with the disc. Him and Leggio have been running things back there with Michael Tran. Back to Okita. Looks like Ham and Parisi are going deep. Dunn having a hard time getting open.
The Growlers are back in their spread offense now, which is more typical for them.
Zeke Ivers looking for a deep shot to Dunn. Decides to holster it. Zeke said he's definitely looking for another scooper throw, by the way. I talked to him at halftime. He was very happy with the first one and thought, why not throw another one? Dunn over to Ham. Ham all the way over to...
Kukowski?
See, number 26.
Yeah, it's Jake Kukowski.
Jacob Gukowski. Looked like a hand block. It looked like he was looking at his hand like it slipped maybe, but definitely looked like some type of block or a tip maybe. Now the disc is with number 39, Alex Grande. This is one of the Flamethrowers' first chance to try to break here in a long time against the Growlers' potent offense. But a drop from Jacob Greenberg, another one from the Flamethrowers, and now going deep. Looks like going all the way across the Dunn. I don't think he's in yet. Kukowski with the disc. And real easy to Dunn. Flamethrowers just don't look like they got a big squad that they brought down. They just don't look like they have the energy right now. The body language of the Flamethrowers it just doesn't look great. They look a little dejected walking off the sideline. It's always hard when a player drops, but it just doesn't look like they have some of the energy.
Getting pretty close to the end of the third quarter. Running out of time to head down to the Growlers team store. Pick up your mini discs.
And just looking back at the results from the earlier matchups against the Flamethrowers, the most recent game, Growlers lose in overtime, 24-25, but earlier in the season, Growlers win at San Francisco, 25-21. So I think that's the score differential there being the tiebreak on the head-to-head.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Growlers are definitely starting to play to how they did early in the season, because they've lost their last 5 out of 6 after starting off the season with a great record, and I think that's why they're now in second place or third place, looking for a hopeful chance at the playoffs for the first time in their 4 years of their creation. This is going with Marcelo. Looks like they have someone poached in the middle of the field. Marcelo holds off, looking to go around to Antoine Davis. Davis looking for something around. Decides to throw kind of an errant pass. Ruben with a big jump, but doesn't come up with it. And now the Flamethrowers are off to the races, and an easy score. Looks like number 56. That's Brandon Canizzato.
Canonizzato.
Canonizzato.
It's a lot of syllables, but
yeah, it's too many A's and O's.
A lot of vowels, yeah.
Yeah, too many vowels. Canonizzato with the score. We got Tom Hartwell here, an old San Diego player, still wearing his sunglasses, not sure why.
Great family-friendly atmosphere out here at Mission Bay High School. During halftime, we had lots of younger players. I'm talking toddlers, as young as toddlers, learning to throw the disc on the field at halftime, which was great to see. Really building a strong fan base and future Growlers out here.
Yeah, we're looking to brainwash players early and often, as young as we can, kind of indoctrinate them on the ultimate frisbee, try to get more and more people out to this great sport. This is with Okita back to Dom. Looks like they're in a vert stack, so they're transitioning back to a vert stack. Sean Ham. Looks like a travel from Dom Leggio. And Flamethrowers seem excited about the call from the refs. This might be one of the first calls of the game from the referees. It's been a very clean game from both sides. There's definitely some drops, but in terms of fouls and travels and everything, there may be 2 or 3 calls the entire game. Looks like going Sean Ham.
Steven Milardovich.
Milardovich going for it. Oh, great grab. That's from number 20. That's like Wes Groth with a great catch.
Wesley Groff brought it down for the second.
Nice throw from Milardovich with a nice outside in, kind of reminiscent of Kearns' throw earlier. A little harder for Groth to catch than earlier, but from Kearns, but great catch from Groff, and another score for the Growlers, 20-14, up 6 with a little over 6 minutes left.
So Growlers extending their lead back to 6. It's the largest lead of the game. So already at 20 points with plenty of time left in the third quarter. It's just such a high-scoring game, Steve. I can't believe how efficient their offense is. I think this bodes well going into playoff contention.
Yeah, and I think Kevin Stewart said we played our best half we've ever played. And I think the timing is great. There's a scooper from Kearns. We've said that before. This is the Antoine going to back to Kearns, and I can see Kearns going deep here if he can get a shot he likes. And he sees it.
Lines up. He's wide open, but it might be too far.
Looks like he's Canizzato. That's what he's shooting for, number 56, Canizzato. Eli Kearns with a big backhand rip, and he thought he had the shot he wanted, and Canizzato couldn't track it down, went way too far. Looks like there was a foul call eventually. This is what it looks like Ruben. So Ruben throws it in a pretty contested area, but Will Griffin was able to get the grab, kind of jamming it down the sideline. I think we're going to Nate Bridges, the ASU player. The big flick over to Max Humes, all the way across to Turner, looking for a shot down the field. Good cut off by Flamethrowers. You can hear the Flamethrowers sideline from here, trying to get them animated, try to get this break back, and not have to give up another play. Not give up another score, I should say.
Yeah, Growlers taking full advantage of the width of the field. It looks like the defenders are on their heels, and there it is.
Yeah.
Easy break side throw from Sam Fontaine.
Randy, of course, is going to Kyle Rubin, who picks up his first goal of the game.
And that makes the lead 7 now. The largest lead of the game for the Growlers, 21-14 with just under 5 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, I mean, it's been impressive from my standpoint seeing a couple Growlers games this year. The energy is just there, and like I said, sometimes these traveling teams bring a smaller squad, maybe they only have 15. It looks like they got 20. They brought 20-something guys down. So I wonder, because this is their first of 2 games with the Flamethrowers, and LA has just been on a roll. I mean, for them, they got to be thinking about maybe just trying to get some momentum back. There's still plenty of time for them to come back, but for them, I think they just got to get on track with their offense and get ready for tomorrow's game against LA, because this one's becoming a point where they're just not going to have an opportunity to come back down 7 in the third quarter. As the pool goes out for the 3rd time for the Growlers, again, something that I'd like to see cleaned up for the Growlers moving forward. So this is the Eli Kearns, done showing him where he should go, and the disc is in with Kearns with the disc. A quick one to Lior, and Marcelo's going deep, and I don't think Marcelo's going to be able to get this one. With some great D. Hard to see who that was. Let's see, number 94. I think that was Scott Radlauer with a nice poach D. Looks like that was just a silly throw from this vantage point. I mean, it's always easier when you're seeing it from here, but it looked like there was an easy poach going back with Marcelo because he had beat his guy deep. Should have been a wide open under. Looks like San Francisco is trying to get too much back too quickly. And again, the Growlers have another opportunity for a break. Looks like a pick, so it looks like they're going to take it back 10 yards. So it looks like Tran has a disc over to Slater. And he's just going for the bomb. And that, a perfect position. Dunn was able to track that one down. Back to Radlauer, back to Tran, all the way over to Dunn. It seems like he's everywhere. Back to Radlauer. I think they'll go back to Dunn here. Oh, that was, I think Radlauer is just walking with the disc. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure you can't do that. This isn't, even though this is the professional ultimate league, this isn't the NBA, and you can't just walk with the disc. Tran with the disc, looking down line. Looked like it may be a foul, no call. Radlauer with the disc again. Looks like they should swing it all the way across. They finally do. Dunn has a disc, and that kind of that nonchalant backhand that just kind of bends around, and Slater with the run across, and 22-14.
Extending the lead to 8.
I mean, maybe if the Growlers start kind of playing it around a little bit just to waste some time, but can't imagine they don't get easily to 30 in this game with still 2:58 left in the third.
Just for the record, we finally figured out where the chat's going on the live stream, so we're finally getting a look at those comments. Thanks for the clarification. It's correction on Steve earlier. It's American Ultimate Disc League, not Association.
Thank you.
And Marcelo went to UC Davis. So thanks for the chat, Nancy and Ed, and the rest of you guys. Keep tuning in and giving us your feedback.
Appreciate that. So Marcelo, you can see that connection. That makes sense because him and Eli Kearns have been throwing it back and forth all day to each other. So I guess they probably did their playing time around a similar time at UC Davis. It's like the fourth pull out of balance, and I'm about ready to get down the field and start pulling myself, just and sub straight out because it's a little embarrassing just because it's professional ultimate. You got to be able to keep pulling balance, but maybe they're trying different things.
So swings it over to. God, the light's going up now.
That's me a Kearns over to Sam Swink, back to Marcelo.
Steve's got LASIK, so if that's any indication of what.
And a dangerous errant throw from number 13 Sam Swink, looking for 56 Brandon Canizato, and again a Another chance for the Growlers, and they are just rolling deep right now. Going for it. That was not a good throw from Milardovich, looked like Groff going deep. Looked like he had him too. This is with Marcelo. Looking for something. Antoine Davis is finally downfield for the first time in the game. Over to Kearns. Back to Marcelo. Across, that looks like Chartuk. Looking deep, and here's Antoine Davis, the beast. And a great D. After the errant throw from Milardovich, he's able to get it back, and it looks like he came up a little limp on the injury. Hopefully he's okay. I think maybe just tighten it up a little bit. And as always, we want to thank Zach Shackner for listening. He's a longtime listener and oftentimes responder. We love Zach Shackner. He's on the LA Aviators. Great guy, good ultimate player, and just great person to talk to. So thanks, Zach, for your comments. A little action there, but Nate Bridges catches it with Marcelo. Marcelo is trying to stop the around, but we get it off to Turner. All the way over to Max Hume. And it looks like Groth is going deep, but there's no throw. Turner with the disc. I could see a timeout maybe from Kevin Stewart. The guys look tired. He call it, and maybe he should have. And the disc is a turnover, and Kearns is with the disc. He's got someone in the middle. He decides to go back. This is with Elliot Chartuk. Back to Antoine Davis. Over to Lior. Back to Chartuk. Got a little defense chant coming from the fans. Still has some energy. Marcelo to a bidding Growler, doesn't quite get it. Back over to Antoine. Looking for a big flick, and I think they may have him. Oh. It looked like Elliot Chartuk could have made a better chance at that than they keep trying to throw to Brandon Canonizato, and they just can't connect. That's a third straight throw.
No update for you, Zach, on the sunglasses. We'll keep you posted. And Jesse Cohen making a rare appearance on the live stream chat, wanting to know when I will return to the club scene. Well, we're going to have to wait and see what the fans want, I guess, Steve. No update at this time, Jesse. As the clock's ticking down, 5 seconds left.
A big block from Chartuk. Looks like it goes out of balance, and there's a quick timeout from the Flamethrowers. 4.6 seconds left.
So 2 timeouts each. We'll maybe see if the Flamethrowers take an opportunity.
I take that
here.
back. There was a timeout, but it looks like because the disc was just coming in, looks like here's the throw.
Centering pass.
And they got to throw it in, and they get the score. And you can see the Growlers disdain on the sideline. They were not happy with that last second score to make it a 22-15.
Number 10, Elliot Chartuk for a bullet and scored.
So less big shots, less deep shots from the Growlers this past quarter, but still extending their lead to 7 now. I think if you're San Diego, you're pretty happy with the results through 3 quarters. What are the Flamethrowers going to look to do in the final 12 minutes here, Steve?
I think they're just going to look to get back on track with their offense. Their offense has been questionable at best, pretty stagnant at times. Eli's trying to do too much, I think, and with the Growlers keying in on him, I think they need to see other people kind of step up. Several times they were trying to throw deep to Brandon Canonizato, and they just couldn't get there. And I think if they clean up their offense, I think they'll have a better momentum going forward. Now, we do have the famous disc toss coming up. It's $1 here to get the disc.
Well, it's a great fan interactive third quarter break, kind of like a 7th inning stretch, as it were, in the baseball. That's so popular in baseball. So the fans will get a little mini disc here, which is about a 4-inch disc. Anybody of all ages can throw from anywhere in the stands, trying to land it in a disc golf basket down there on the track.
It seems very close And I'm from we live
to the Balboa Stadium.
Yeah, Balboa
especially-
Stadium versus
especially.
Mission Bay Stadium. I think they're going to make the kids stand a little farther back. I see like 6 or 7 going in, and the Growlers making no money.
Well, I thought it was a 50-50 raffle, so
It
at
is a
least,
50.
unless they screw up the math, then I'm sure they'll come away with 50% of something. But yeah, it could be split several ways amongst the fans, which would be good to see, though.
Yeah, every fan gets $1. They get their rebate for putting it in. So it looks like I don't think they're looking to sell as many discs as they can, and you got a little line going up. So I think they're going to start playing, regardless of the disc game going on in front of us, the disc golf game. I think they're going to get the game going.
So we'll wait and see if the game clock resumes here with the poll, as it looks like both teams are on the field. You can hear the overhead announcer telling the fans that we're going to need to sling those discs here in just a minute.
Here we go. Here's the count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we'll give you the update on the mini disc game as
We'll get back to the big.
Flamethrowers.
We'll get to the big disc game right now. Elliot Chartuk with the disc over to Marcelo Sanchez. Looking deep. Looked like they had Lior for a second. Elliot all the way, go all the way across. Did hear one cheer, so it looks like one person made it. Second person made it. Told you it was too close. Antoine Davis to Marcelo for the quick score.
Looks like there might have been a deflection there.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Flamethrowers wanted in terms of a quick score, get their defense out, and just see what they can happen in a long quarter where the time stops in between plays. They want to see what happens.
San Francisco just scored, making it 16-22. Looks like they're down, I believe, 3-1.
So Flamethrowers cutting the deficit to 6 again, down now 16-22. Home team Growlers leading with about 11 and a half minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
So he gets 2/3 and 1/2.
Looks like this great pull from Cody Kirkland from the Flamethrowers. Let's see if they can stifle a little Growlers' offensive momentum here and see if they can get back in the game. Growlers has just been virtually perfect on offense, just with a couple mistakes. This was Sean Hamm looking deep. Dunn was open. They decided to holster it. Milardovich has the disc going to Dunn, and Sean Hamm is going. So is Okita, though, and Ivers goes under, looking for the disc.
Oh!
Big layout from the Flamethrower. Zeke Iver gets it. Then it's to Okita. Going around, back to Zeke Ivers. All the way back to Dunn. That kind of nonchalant backhand that served him so well. Tran has a disc on the close sideline. Oh! Errant throw. That was number 53, Devin Williams, who went up big early in the first half against Milardovich. Hasn't played so much after. His word he was hurt, but he's back in. And it looks like there is a timeout from the Flamethrowers.
Before the turnover.
Yeah, before the turnover. So this is exactly what the Growlers don't want to have happen. A quick score from the Flamethrowers and then a turnover. With a timeout from the Flamethrowers, we'll see what happens with maybe some switching out of putting their O team in.
Yeah, so again, the score 22-16. San Francisco with the disc on the break. And about 10 and a half minutes to go.
Growlers are proudly sponsored by Leon Gloves. layout over the glove. Makes this shoot a cut farther, catch cleaner, and throw crisper.
You can see the little Hartwells playing with the disc golf chains there. Those, just for the record, those are not the amount of discs thrown from the stands. That's the cleanup. Just for you guys concerned.
Everyone won $1
about the financial stability of the organization. They're in good standing.
We don't know they're in good standing, but we know that three people
There's
won.
only a handful of wins from the mini golf, disc golf.
So it looked like a big change in players from the San Francisco Flamethrowers. Eli Kearns and their O team is back in. Sanchez with the disc looking for Antoine Davis. And it's Greenberg cutting under. Doesn't get it. Over to Kearns. Probably all the way over to Sanchez. Looks like Kearns is maybe open. See if they get it. Leor back to Kearns. I want to kind of try to stay up on Kearns. Looks like Max Hume is on him. Over to Turner. All the way across to Sam Swink. All the way across to Leor now on the far sideline. That's 31. Jacob Greenberg with the disc. Looking for, found him, the big bid from Turner, but Leor caught it with Marcelo. And then Eli Kearns
really
wants
working.
A disc, yep. I can see a hammer or Scuba to get over this. A little flip pass to Leor to Kearns and a spike. Flamethrowers are pumped, and you could see kind of the momentum changing. Now it's only a 5-point game, still plenty of time left, Brian.
Yeah, I think the Growlers just need to get back to what they've been doing most of this game, which is controlled, big stretch deep cuts, coming under for easy throws, using the whole width of the field. They've been jammed up the sideline with those 5-yard button hook cuts, which just are not enough space at this level. Defenders are too close. You need to get your defender off you a little bit more.
I did talk to Sean Hamm about the dentist question. He apparently just doesn't work that much, so he has plenty of time to work out. He's not on an aircraft carrier. There's actually another dentist on the team.
Interesting.
So 2 dentists. So, I mean, I can't imagine them having high costs for dental bills. So if we're talking about financial stability.
A nice perk of joining the Growlers team, I'm
Next
sure.
time I have a root canal, I'm going to Sean Hamm. Last time I went to Mexico, it didn't turn out so well. This is with Dom Leggio in the middle of the field. Over to Ham. We'll call him the dentist from now on. Low throw. Looks like they called it up. And Dunn's looking for it. Oh, I think they're calling it down. I think they're going to...
I think I see one ref signaling for the booth review, but oh no, that's the FIFA. That's only on.
That's VAR.
I'm just accustomed to seeing that on the
the
World
video
Cup.
action replay. I think it's called VAR. Is
VAR.
the acronym?
Sorry. Thank you, Steve.
Oh.
The call is the disc was down before the reception by Travis Dunn there. It was questionably up from the booth, and we were probably in just as good a position as any of the referees on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Growlers have a point of contention here because, kind of a late bid from Sean Hamm and probably a TMF or some type of foul. Yeah, just a foul. Sorry, I don't think they have TMS and AUDL.
Were you the Steve that?
Quick booth appearance from Ryan Slaughter. Sorry for the lack of audio there. We just needed to confirm some things for the broadcast and the mini disc winner.
Scuba, Flamethrower score. And going back before we got interrupted, which was a good interruption from Ryan Slaughter, but interruption nonetheless. I think the Growlers had a point of contention because a close referee did not make that call, and it was a referee maybe 40 yards away who wanted to call it down. Now it did look questionably down. It was a low throw, but I think the Growlers have a point here of a little bit of an issue. But
now, to your point earlier, Steve, though, the referees in this game at this level are making active calls. So if the closer ref does not call it down when it's down, they should be going to them after the fact for clarification, right? They should be making that call proactively as it happens.
Yeah, so the throw was down. The Flamethrowers break again. That's 2 breaks in a row. And I'd have to check. I think they only got broken once before this point. So that's 2 breaks in a row. And now all of a sudden it's a 4-point game, and the Flamethrowers are definitely energized.
Yeah, and the Growlers sideline hasn't had a lot of big plays or excitement to cheer for just yet. They got a little bit maybe complacent at the start of the second half there with kind of doing what they wanted. And now
done with the diss on the far sideline. Sorry to cut you off there, Brian. Going back to Dom Leggio. Over to Michael Tran. Looks like the Growlers are kind of content, just kind of swinging around and looking for the shot they want. Looks like they transitioned to a vert stack. A great cut from Dunn. Greenberg's having a hard time staying with Dunn, and there's an easy shot. That's number 22, Wes Groth with the catch, I think, on the far sideline, and people are excited. Sorry, Brian, what were we saying right before I cut you off there?
No, I was just saying that the Growlers haven't had any kind of excitement to cheer for, to get behind, while the Flamethrowers have kind of found their stride in the late part of the game here. So now they're back up 5, 23-18 in favor of San Diego Growlers. Just under 8 minutes to play here.
Yeah, 22! Way to do!
Okay, guys, there's so many of you. We gotta hype it up.
We might be picking up our producer who's got the night off, cheering up the crowd as the Growlers let off the rolling pull there.
So this over with Elliot Charchuk.
Oh!
Over to Kearns.
A little miscommunication there. Kearns recovers.
Looking to Marcelo. That Kearns to Marcelo, pointing it out, that Davis connection. Marcelo with a nice backhand inside out. Over to Lior, to Antoine Davis. Going deep. Doesn't have it. They had Swink. Decides to hold off. Just going to let it go. And he got stalled. And that was the cheer from the Growlers. Very excited about getting that. It looks like Will Turner came up a little bit with a limp, maybe a rolled ankle. So it looks like Turner's off.
I don't know if the fans heard me, but we just had that cheer almost as soon as we were talking about a lack of excitement, and it seemed to generate a turnover just then.
I think you're somewhat of a Nostradamus. You predicted Allison would do that cheer, and then there would be a stall count. So, I mean, let's go to Vegas this weekend. What do you think?
I actually just got back from Vegas, Steven.
Of course you did.
I'll let you know it didn't go very well.
And an errant throw from Don Lesio, and it looks like another hurt Growler. Time will stop at 7:05, 23-18.
Just as we break to talk about our good luck streaks, our bad luck streaks, we hit another lull in the.
It looks like Nate Bridges was trying to lay out for that, and it looks like he's coming up. Maybe he hit his head, I'm not sure, but he's coming out. And that was an errant throw from Dom, just trying to make an easy throw to Dom, to Nate, Dom to Nate, and it was an errant throw. Looks like they're double teaming Kearns. Back to Elliot Charchuk. Looks like they're running a little bit of a dominator. That's when they have their 4 people downfield, and their 3 handlers are just going to run everything. And they're Marcelo over to Kearns, back to Marcelo, over to Elliot Charchuk, back to Marcelo. Little bit of trouble there, but Antoine Davis comes down with it. Kearns with a great catch. I can see him trying to throw something crazy here. Throws a flick down the line. Back to Kearns, and Kearns is going for the big score here. Another break, and he got it. That was number 33, Colin Coyle. We haven't said his name makes his first on the stat line for a score.
Max Hume playing tremendous defense there, along with I don't know who that was with the cap that you didn't like earlier in the first half.
Sam Fontaine?
Oh, yeah, Sam Fontaine.
No, I didn't like him. I don't like the
way he's wearing his cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all clear on that, Steve.
But he has gloves on, so that's impressive. So now it's a 4-point game with 6:19. Still plenty of time left for the Flamethrowers to make an attempt at this, and the Growlers got to get kind of back on track. After their fans got into it, they turned it right back over. So we'll see what happens on the offense. Their offense has been very fluid, but they have given up a couple breaks in the last 3 points. This is going to go to Okita. Looks like he'll center to Tran. Looks like they're going to go to a vert. Over to Ivers, looking for Dunn. Antoine Davis closely following. Hold it back to Tran. All the way across to Parisi. Looking for number 22, Groth. Nice inside. Oh! Looked like that was a nice inside throw. I want to see what Okita saw. Maybe he started cutting back a little early. So it looks like Antoine Davis will pick up with the Flamethrowers another opportunity. And it looks like they're going to go deep to start. They don't have anything open. They're just going to jack it. Oh, wow. Great grab from, that's Coyle again, with a nice grab after a bailout on 9 or 10 for Davis. Coyle over number 37, Alex Pan, looking for number 50, looks like maybe number 56, Brandon Canizato, but it was hard to tell from this far away. But that's a 3-point game.
Yeah, just like that. The Flamethrowers are right back in this game. Just under 5.5 minutes to go, and they're only down 3.
I can see a timeout from Kevin, and I think he's going to get one. He's got to kind of rally the troops again because this is not looking good. After being up as much as 8 points, I think, at one point, down to 3, and Flamethrowers are energized, and they got a big bench.
Growlers also take their first timeout. So 23-20, 5-25.
Yeah, I think out of the last 5 or 6 points, most of them have gone the Flamethrowers' way. The Growlers have been up. I think they were up 22-16 or something like that. And so, just like that, that's a 4-1 run for the Flamethrowers.
They're up 22-14, I think.
Oh yeah, that was the 8-point lead. Yeah, you're right. So quite a swing of points there in the start of the fourth quarter. Maybe the end of the third to the start of the fourth.
Yeah, I saw Kevin Stewart just take his hat off, and I saw the vein from up here kind of throbbing at the top of his forehead. I unfortunately know that vein popping too well, playing for him for a long time in my career, and I can see that he's irritated. And I think that timeout was a smart timeout to kind of calm the troops down. They've been dominating this whole game, and it's only the last 4 or 5 points, like you pointed out, where they've kind of been stifled a little bit. Right. And we'll see if the Growlers get back on track after giving up maybe 1 break in the first 3 quarters to give up 3 breaks in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, sort of a bell curve, if you will, there in terms of performance for the Growlers.
Yeah, would that put under the idea of a parabola?
Yeah, parabola, bell curve, normal distribution, all good candidates for that sort of peaking in the middle.
I want to thank Dr. Kruger, my AP Stats teacher in 10th grade. I only took the class for 3 weeks before I dropped it, but I did learn about a bell curve. So, Flamethrowers on the pool, 5:25 left. If you're just joining us, you've missed a great game so far, but the Growlers are up 3 points, but the Flamethrowers have been pressing the last 3 or 4 points, maybe scoring the last 3 in a row, and we'll see what happens with this pool for the Flamethrowers. Yeah. Cody Kirkland with a big swinging pool, big 360 pool. Looks like they have a horizontal offense. Dom Leggio at the helm as per usual. To Sean Ham, to Travis Dunn, looking for Milardovich. Looks like Flamethrowers might be forcing middle. I kind of hear the sideline calling backhand or forehand. And they let one go from Milardovich, and this looks like it's going to be a poach and a D from Greenberg. They had done deep, but Greenberg poached. Great catch. Leors with the disc. Greenberg with the disc. Looks like Devin Williams coming under. Oh, looks like he got pushed in the back a little bit.
A little bit of contact. They're going to let him play on. I think it's a good no call.
Yeah, it did look like he dropped that before. So this is with Milardovich on the far sideline. Great upline cut from D-Ledge. Looks like he came down a little funny on his foot, but he looks fine. Another one down the line. Looks like to Ivers all the way across. All the way across. Looks like to Okita. Oh. Looks like there was a foul and there was no call there.
Okita with a big pump fake, and he got his defender to make contact, no call. And Dunn finds Sean Ham in the end zone. That's just what the fans needed to bring him back to life.
Yeah, it was looking dangerous when Flamethrowers had the disc at 23-20, but luckily the reliance of Sean Ham and the nice round, it looked like from Travis Dunn for the score to Sean Ham, and he finds himself again on the goal line for another goal. All right, we're back on with Elliot Chartuck with the disc in the middle of the field. Will Turner on there. Looks like they're coming down at some poach, maybe to stifle the big deep shot and also to slow the game down. Time is not in the Flamethrowers' favor with 3:40 left. Now there's still plenty of time, but down 4 scores. Flamethrowers got to score quickly, and I think the Growlers putting this pressure on with kind of a zone issue to try to make them throw many throws. Maybe force a turnover, maybe they don't, but they waste 2 minutes trying to score. And I think Kearns knows that. They keep having easy throws here. Looks like Antoine Davis is looking to get the disc.
Oh.
Goes up big for the catch. All the way across. It's probably going to go Marcelo to 56. That's Brandon Canizzato to Kearns in the middle.
Swink now pushing downfield. Lior
to Davis.
The easy up line.
Yep, that looked pretty smooth from the Flamethrowers. But if you look at it, I think they pulled with a little over 4 minutes. Now there's 3:03 just by playing the numbers. As long as the Growlers continue to keep the disc on O, it should be, for them, that's not a bad score if there is ever such a thing as a good score.
Right. Yeah, that's the interesting thing with these games late. So if it's close, it's really just about maintaining composure on offense, holding the disc, running the clock out. A little bit like if you're leading in a soccer match, you can kind of maintain possession in the back third of the field, right? The only difference comes down to the final possession. If they're within 1, you look for that buzzer beater opportunity, which at that point it's a coin flip essentially, and that could push it into overtime as it did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, for the Growlers, they're just going to be steady with the disc. I don't think at this point with 3 minutes left, you want to, as the pool goes out of bounds, you want to just play back and dink and doink your way through. I think you still got to play on the attacking mode. Sure. I think under 2 minutes or under 1:30, you can start playing a little. There's no shot clock in Frisbee,
right?
So they have no problem, and they're just going to be extra aggressive on the defense. But I mean, if the Growlers are, like you said, keep their composure, they have a chance to win this game. Dunn's
like
not keeping his composure, taking that shot downfield to Sean Ham.
The defender was just right there, and Dunn had all the confidence in the world to unleash it. That's a dime to Sean Ham over the shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was saying. With 3 minutes left, you got to take the shot still. And that was a great shot from Dunn to Ham, and Ham is one of the best receivers in the AUDL. He seems like he scores 5 goals every game.
Absolutely.
Him and Dunn just been great players all year for the Growlers.
I think that's exactly what Steve was just saying, which was if you see the shot, take it, right?
Yep.
Don't pass up an open look downfield just because you're leading and the clock's running low. And Travis Dunn did exactly that. Perfect timing, perfect execution by Sean Ham to streak and pull that in for the goal. Just under 3 minutes to go now.
All right, this is with Elliot Chartuck in the middle of the field. Looking to Eli Kearns. That's number 45, Cody Kirkland with the disc. Great thrower. Antoine Davis, who's been a lot more of a factor, I think, in the second half than the first half. And my observation, Marcelo down to Lior, and they're looking deep. They got him. I thought they had Kirkland for a second with Radlauer, excuse me, coming up, and looks like an errant throw from Kearns, trying to force it a little bit, knowing that time is not on their side. And that's another D. If you heard from our home game announcer, Steven Milardovich, with another D. He's been great all game. Antoine Davis looking to unload the boosters there. Dunn gets to it quicker. Milardovich with the disc. Got Fontaine cutting. All the way over to Dunn. Looks like Rubin with the disc. Going for it. Great shot. That was Josh Cole to Travis Dunn, and Travis Dunn is lighting up the stat sheet. Scores and assists just all game, him and Ham. And now up 5. You kind of want to say the Jello's jiggling. Oh, Chick Hearn reference. Lakers are going to be starting their summer schedule soon. You watching the NBA draft at all?
Caught a little bit of it, and actually I've been working closely at work. Actually, the Utah Jazz are one of my clients, so it's been cool to kind of watch the off-season prep for.
Donovan Mitchell was phenomenal.
Yeah, they're very excited about him. That's for sure.
There's Slater with the big rip. Nice. As Dan Bellinger was saying, that's a big boy pool.
We did hear him call that out earlier in the game to Mark Slater.
That's Elliot Chartuck to Kearns with a huge rip up the middle. We have one of our loudest fans, our executive producer, Allison Ramsey, was fired up. This is with Sam Swink. Looks like he got bumped by his own teammate. And a little scuba in traffic. And Ham gets the D. And
I think that last goal just sealed the deal for the Growlers. The Flamethrowers not feeling very confident. We're marching down the field there, just kind of throwing up.
Griffin with the disc, swinging around to Slater. Oh, it's like Slater kind of forced that one to Griffin going up line. Griffin was saying, my bad, I just didn't think it was a good throw. He got someone wide open in the back of the end zone, but they decided to float it up to Elliot Chartuck, looking for Lior. Probably back to Elliot Chartuck here. There it is. And to Antoine Davis for the score. Flamethrowers can make it easy when they want to, but I think it's too little too late. 26-22 with only 34 seconds left.
Yeah, so each team has a timeout left, but I don't think it's going to matter at this point. Nothing really to make of 34 seconds. Growlers will receive in just a minute here, and we should see the final possession, assuming the Growlers can hold on to it for the win.
So it looks like a roller from the Flamethrowers, real short field for the Growlers to work with, and they're going to set up a pretty aggressive zone or aggressive double team on the sideline in the hope that they can get a quick turn. I mean, that's the only way they can do it, down 4 scores with 33 seconds left. Like you said, if the Growlers keep their composure, they're fine. They have this one in the bag. Growlers, phenomenal game. Basically from start to finish, there was that small problem or small mishap, about 4 or 5 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter, where it looked like the Flamethrowers had a chance to come back, and I think the Flamethrowers just couldn't stop them. Eventually, the momentum switched back to the Growlers.
Yep.
And the Growlers.
So about 5 seconds as the clock runs down here. Leggio's going to let it rip, and that's just going to about do it for us.
Oh yeah!
And Milardovich hauls it in for a buzzer beater, just to pour it on. So the final score, 27-22 on the rip and the buzzer beater from Dom Leggio to Steve Milardovich. That's going to do it for us here in the booth. Next home game, July 14th, here versus the first place LA Aviators. Don't know if we'll be streaming that game just yet, but I'll definitely be looking forward to the matchup. Hope to see you guys out here. This is Brian Moore.
My name's Steve Proden. Thanks for chiming in.